An update on the devastation of soybeans and corn out in Missouri. We got farmers checking in on that. We have big electrical components grinding things to a halt on repairs on electrical grids as well as Navy ships. We also have a major hack on U.S. Commerce Department as well as actually the Secretary of Commerce and the U.S. State Department by Chinese hackers. Also, we have another company pulling out of Florida from insuring folks down there in Florida due to increasing risk of hurricanes. We got a whole bunch of stuff to cover, a whole bunch of reports coming from you guys, as well as a few news clippings here and there to bring you up to date on what you need to know. Let's jump into it, folks. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. If you don't trust the mainstream media, hit that thumbs up button and let us know we're doing a good job here. We want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement funds and you want to get them into gold, silver, or platinum coins that you own, if you want to work with a Christian organization, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team at Genesis Gold. You can find them down in the description down below, and they'll be linked on the screen towards the end of the video. All right, so Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo's email account was hacked and accessed by Chinese hackers for a full month before it was discovered. This was all in the lead up to Secretary Blinken's trip to Beijing. So Chinese hackers had access to the Secretary of Commerce's email account for a whole month, folks. More and more breaches are coming out on what happened with the hacking just over the last month, and it's just devastating, folks. While we've been talking about putting sanctions on China, the people putting those sanctions on China are the very same people that have been hacked by China. Also, the State Department was also hacked, not up to the Secretary level. So the Secretary of State was not hacked, but the Secretary of Commerce was. And we have to ask the question, how much did the big guy, how much was his commission on that one? I don't know. Also, Farmers Insurance has decided not to insure Florida residents anymore due to the rising risk of hurricanes. Apparently, they're being told by their smart people in lab coats that due to people having too much freedom and, fossil fuels and cow farts, there's going to be more hurricanes, even though historically there haven't been more hurricanes in the last number of years than previously. So, believe the science because you can't actually think about the science because the facts aren't there on that. But that doesn't stop four insurance companies from being like, we're not going to insure people in Florida anymore because we've been told by the people in lab coats who we believe that there's going to be more hurricanes in the future. Yep, that's where we're going to, folks. Soon they're not going to be able to insure your cattle because they're going to be told by their lab coat people that your cows fart too much. All right, moving on. We got a report here from Kentucky Home. I went to make a small donation to our local food bank in central Kentucky. What I saw shocked me. Pallets that are normally stacked with flats of canned food were empty. The manager told me that they usually give out 4 different varieties of veg, but she only had tomatoes and green beans. She said the trucks haven't had much on them, and good thing it was raining that week and not many people came in for food. The fact that food banks have to hope that it rains so that less people show up is truly disturbing. We have Joy here reporting that our local grocery store, H-E-B, ran out of several of their sale items that week, a couple days after the sale started. I have never seen that before. Well, you should come to a Save-A-Lot like we have up here in Pittsburgh. It happens all the time. But our local U-Pick farms are not allowing you to pick because crops are so light. But you can still buy small amounts from them. Fresh peaches are $5.50 a pound. No canned peaches at Walmart. Potatoes have gone up a couple dollars for a 10-pound bag, and you're lucky if only half of them have no scab or black spots. Cat food is very low. Dog food is available. Coffee has gone up quite a bit, and not as many brands are available. The thing that surprised me the most this week, we finally ran out of canned spinach, which at the beginning of this year was 72 cents a can. The cheapest cans I could find were $1.38, but they are no longer the 16-ounce cans. All the spinach sold was either 13.5 or 14.5 ounce instead of the 16-ounce. Shrinkflation plus inflation is rough. Glad we prep. Be growing a lot of spinach this fall in my fall garden to put up for next year. That's a good plan. That's a good plan. Chava in the UK. I used to shop regularly in the company store that sells surplus and factory seconds from factories and food chains. I have seen far less in the way of fresh goods. I can't remember when last they had butter, and they rarely have cheese. The odd-shaped blocks that they used to sell are now being packed and sold in the supermarkets. They usually had miscellaneous items from Ocado, a national online grocery delivery service. Lately, there hasn't been any. Their prices used to be half what I spent at Aldi. Now, often they are higher. I remember saying some time back, what happened in stores like this would be a warning for what is ahead. And folks, it is. If you look at the discount stores, that's where you're going to see the shortages first. If they can sell those things at the higher end stores, they're going to start shifting that produce. They're going to start shifting those cans to the more expensive stores. And that's exactly what we're seeing out there. A bunch of these budget stores are starting to have more and more issues. Katie Glow says, rural central Missouri. The corn and soy fields in my area are devastated. I don't remember ever seeing them in such bad shape. The farmers here grow almost exclusively drought-resistant feed, corn, and soybeans, rotating with wheat. There has been no wheat planted, and the corn and beans are crispy. Even the leaves on our orchard trees are crispy. The grass is bleached, and the bees have fled to parts unknown. To all the doubters and naysayers out there who seem to live to troll channels like this one, we're looking at you guys if you're a troll, right? You'd better start to take things seriously because the shortages are going to catch up with your cities very soon. If you're not seeing shortages out there, folks, praise God for it and stack on because these troubles are spreading. Mia says in Canada, they aren't keeping us informed of the forest fires. Most of Quebec is banned from traveling to their home if you left before the fires started. But you can stay if you're there. You can't leave and go back. Fire maps aren't updated for over a week. Also, when it gets smoky from the fires, the smoke never appears orange like how it did in New York. As for the food, the prices have more than doubled. Hard to find different selections of products. So if they're evacuating from their area for fear of the fire, they're not being allowed back in, and the stores in their areas are not having good produce, and they're not getting restocked appropriately. This is from a person called County Calling. Central Ohio. What little fresh corn there is available is underdeveloped and extremely buggy. I have noticed Walmart online has less canned vegetables available, no longer offering several vegetables in case lots. I have noticed that as well. That is true. You can't get the cases of green beans anymore sometimes, and just you used to get the cases of canned corn, green beans, and you used to get some other ones too. But now you're lucky if you get corn or green beans in a case lot of like 12. Observationalist Dan in Eastern Maryland says this. Went to Lowe's to buy metal garden T-posts. Just a 5-foot metal post that you can hang fencing or cattle panels on. These used to be about $3.99. I was shocked to see that they were almost $9 each. I needed 12, but only bought 5. Going to scrounge some or barter for the others. I'm not paying over $100 for metal posts. That is what we're seeing out there. Metal prices are not up like 3 or 4 times what they used to be, and yet we're seeing T-posts and other stamped metal pieces going up dramatically. Jan says, update on non-food items. My son works for a company that sells, installs, and maintains commercial and industrial waste equipment. They have plenty of orders for new equipment but are unable to deliver because of shortages in electrical equipment, circuit breakers, transformers, etc. It's been going on for months and they see no change in the future. Hearing that the same things from home local builders. So if something breaks, it can be months before that store, warehouse, etc. can be back up and running. And this is from Dee's, responding actually to that comment. We are a small company that does electrical and HVAC. We have had much trouble getting things for jobs for about 2 years. One example, trailers and mobile homes here require a 6 by 6 by 20 foot treated post pole to put the electrical entrance service on. For one job installing one of these trailer poles, we had to travel 1.5 hours away to get the needed service feeder wire, had to go 1 hour in the other direction to get the pole. Breakers are getting scarce and we have to go to multiple stores and supply houses to get the needed materials just to do one job. Takes more time to get supplies than it does to actually do the job. The whole thing is just stupid crazy. So yes, shortages, you can still get the things you need, but you have to travel more. And if they have to travel more, that means they can install less. But yet, the supply issue there for the electrical components and such is there. JP in Southwest Montana says, our ranch supply store stores large bags of whole feed corn, and they have gone up by 50%. Amy in Northern California, the Mexican restaurant in walking distance of us is out of sour cream, which has never happened before in the 9+ years that I've gotten food there. So that's something new there too. If you guys have reports, please do send them in. Use the word update and give us some sort of geographical location. Just put that in a comment on any one of the videos on this channel and we will pick it up. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out Genesis Gold Group, you can go to the website right here. Or if you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here on the screen. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of The Poplar Report, out.